Well, good evening, everyone. Last June, I was only a few days from starting as a CEO when the class of 2021 arrived. Other than making me feel old, it made me think back 33 years when I was preparing to come to the Academy. I was listening to Springsteen. I was watching movies like Footloose, the original, and Ghostbusters, the original. That's for the cadets, okay. But honestly, most of my time was spent wondering, which I think many people thought, will I be able to make it through the Academy? The only long-term thinking I was making at that point was, I hope to be an Air Force officer and maybe I'd be able to get into the space program. Now, for someone like me, the fourth of 5 children, growing up in a lower middle class family, it seemed very, very improbable. But at the same time, my parents were busy raising 5 children on a DJ salary, and if you can believe it, a Bell telephone operator salary, trying to deliver a better life for us. Now, to their thinking, it must have been an Air Force officer, an astronaut. It must have seemed ludicrous. But they didn't discourage me. For you see, they raised us to believe that America was a place where your willingness to work hard truly mattered of what you could make of yourself. So instead, fortunately, they encouraged me. And at the same time, they tried to instill in me, as all parents do, values. And what they tried to instill in me were, they're very simple. 1, tell the truth. 2, your word and your handshake are your bond. And I didn't have this in the script, but 3, before we leave the house on Saturday night, they'd say, remember your Marcolongo even though no one can pronounce it. Because the police sure can. And sorry, Bob. Okay. And the repetitive theme, serving others is a requirement, not an option. So what did that look like to a young boy in Jersey? Well, imagine, I'll take it back to the 70s. It's a brutal winter on the East Coast. You wake up in the morning, you see snow on the ground. You turn on that AM radio, and you hear the words, school is canceled. Oh, the sheer bliss. But to us, it was time to make some snow shoveling cash. So my brother would grab the good snow shovel, and I'd grab the one with the broken blade, because I was the younger brother, and we'd get ready to hit the streets. But before we were allowed to go, my parents would stop us and say, what? Shovel the family walk first. But not just that. They'd say, you have to do the DeHavens across the street, the Boyles to the right, the Hollerings to the left, and then there's the widow who lives above the newspaper. You have to do the 2 stories of stairs for her. And if we ever dared to take a nickel, look out, because spanking was still in vogue back then. So we were taught early on, service before self. Now, of course, we have the 3 core values here at the Academy and the Air Force: integrity, service, excellence. But my challenge to you and to me in 2018 is to focus the AOG and the grad community on the idea of a lifetime of service. You might say, well, why? Aren't the other 2 important? Well, of course they are. But I would say, in my opinion, in a good way, they get center stage 24/7. We built all the programs at the Academy around integrity, even building a building to teach cadets about honor and integrity. So it's top of mind every day. Now for excellence, well, we think about it every day. We're compelled to do it. Our rankings, our academics, our PFTs, our assignments are all tied to the amount of work and the amount of excellence we put in every day. If we're excellent, it yields opportunities, so we do it. But service, well, we know we're supposed to put the Air Force and the nation before ourselves. But my challenge for 2018 and beyond is that we need to elevate service in our minds to something that is intentional, daily, weekly, monthly. It just doesn't happen while we're wearing the uniform. It's something we must add to the equation for a lifetime, whether we're 22 or 102. I would put to you that America needs us more today than ever before because we have a problem. We're a connected country, connected by technology, but we're isolated. As we speak, my grade school friends, I'm not kidding, are linking up on Facebook Messenger, trying to put together a party this fall. And I haven't seen or talked to them in almost 40 years. But at the same time, in today's connected world, people are dying of loneliness. We have stronger internet connections, but weaker personal connections. So what's the solution? We need to develop strong connections to each other. How? Well, I would put to you, selfless service is a way to do it. I challenge you, there's no finish line for an Academy graduate. There should be no finish line for anyone who enjoys the freedom and opportunity that America gives them. But if you're an Academy graduate, I want to speak to you grad to grad. Is that you? Is that, oh my gosh. Is that you, Gary? Sorry. Okay. So, speaker undergrad. The people of the United States didn't choose you from 10,000 applicants so you could be a cadet. They didn't choose you from 10,000 people so you could say, I'm an Air Force officer. They chose you because you had the potential to become a leader of character for the nation. The potential to become a leader of character for the nation, a servant leader for a lifetime. Let me put it this way. At the Air Force Academy, you learned a lot about the gifts you have and the good purposes you can serve. They're yours to embrace. They're yours to share. And I think you've all heard the quote, one person can change the world. But most people hear that and say, sure, someone else may be able to change the world, but not someone like me. To those people, I say, sure, one person may not be able to change the world, but you can change the world for one. And who knows, maybe, excuse me, and who knows, maybe you will change the world, or the person you help may change the world. So here's my hope, other than not crying. At the end of the evening, you'll get home, take off the uncomfortable clothes, get a good night's sleep, and you'll wake up fresh tomorrow. You'll think back on this evening, and maybe, just maybe, you'll recommit to serve others with no finish line. It's the Academy thing to do. It's the American thing to do. Thank you.